All right, y'all. This is our take. This is Mark, the moderator.
Leaf is only family, Brooklyn forever. I said that backwards. Don't worry about it.
Wow, AV the process. Shout out to my man Ari Burns.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna keep this conversation going right around the NBA Finals. And so, Avery, you had a point which you wanted to make. We probably don't think it's a good point, but go ahead.
No, it's a great point. So the extra day of rest, I think, matters. If you look at the last, what is it, the semi-conference finals and the conference finals, we was going every other day, and then all of a sudden we give it 3 days in between the finals. Milwaukee gets 3 days, or 2 days,
Phoenix.
whatever it is. So the Trailblazers only get 2 days. All right, I get that. Yo, I'm looking yesterday. I'm looking tonight. I'm like, why the game ain't on today? What's happening right now? Games on Wednesday. So I think that extra day helped the players get a little bit refreshed. We'll see who it benefits at this point. I think it's definitely helping Giannis's knee. You know, to me, for a guy that is coming off a high pick, I'm amazed that he's playing from that high pick extension. Amazed. So listen, let's see what the rest does to the Suns being on the ball. Let's see. That's what I was doing.
The difference in the game came down to making shots and free throws, right?
Another point. Another good point. Free throws.
Milwaukee took 10 more free throws. They hit 5 more threes. I think Phoenix is the better shooting team. They have more players that can hit those shots than Milwaukee can. Milwaukee got their 2 or 3 that they depend on. Phoenix got to hope everybody except for Ayton letting them 3 points fly. You feel what I'm saying? So that was just the difference in the game. Think about it. Like I just said, the Suns shot 16 free throws. I think Giannis shot 17 by himself. I don't expect that to be the same outcome again. Phoenix definitely has to be more aggressive.
And plus, he made most of his free throws also. He made most of his free throws.
And he made free throws, you know, shout out to Ben Simmons. But that was just the difference in the game, man. The three-point shot and the free throws. And that's the difference in most games, man. We know the team that hits the most threes usually wins. I don't expect the Suns to have another 9 to 31 from the three-point line game. Not with the shooters they got.
Let me ask a question.
Go ahead, Mark.
We sit here and we talk about the impact of coaching. I just want to go over the coaching aspect of this. That do you have more trust in Monty Williams or more trust in Budenholzer to really go into this game 4? Who are you looking at where the pressure is most on? Which coach?
Wait, so you asked 2 questions. You asked them, do you want the trust or you want the pressure?
Both.
All right, so I'm gonna trust Monty Williams, and here's why I'm gonna trust Monty Williams, because he has another coach on the floor with him, and his assistant coaches are all good. Your head coach is only as good as his assistant coaches, and he has a plus by having another coach on that floor in Chris Paul. You know what I mean? And we see what Budenholzer, his track record, like in the past. And Avery brought up a real good point. Why I trust Monty more? His in-game adjustments. Budenholzer adjustments comes the very next game. It's not in-game. Unless he's gonna switch that up, I'm gonna go with my trust is with the whole Phoenix coaching staff.
Yeah, 100%. I don't even think that's an argument in my opinion. I'm definitely gonna trust Monty Williams more based off of what we've seen. But with that being said, I think that, you know, in my opinion, I feel like the Bucks are winning they're winning their games and they're winning series based off the will, man. Like, their will has been very strong, particularly with that Nets Game 7. I just think, and even your boy Giannis playing on a hyper extension, I just think that they willed themselves to this point. Kind of like what I thought about the Hawks. They've willed themselves. They had a great coach as well. Great coaching. Let me say that. I don't want to call him a great coach, but they had great coaching in the series that they won. But they also had that will. So I think that matters. That mental wherewithal. So yeah, I'm gonna trust my team. I'm gonna trust the fact that CP3 is the veteran out of everybody that's kind of like there and that's kind of like got that want. So yeah, without question, Monty all day. The trust and like Budenholzer. I think Budenholzer, I'm not saying he's a bad coach at all by any means. You can't be a bad coach getting to the finals in my opinion. getting to this point. But I don't think that if we're comparing the two, that he has that ability to make that adjustment. And like what Leaf says, he has the personnel to assist him in making that adjustment. And shout out to Willie Green too.
Shout out to Willie Green.
Yeah, hopefully he gets the job. You know, it's just that, like I said, when we look at the coaching aspect of it, and we put a lot of thought into where the coaching stands at. That's why I'm leaning more towards the Suns because of the coaching aspect. And I think Leaf brought up, or Avery brought up a very good point. Budenholzer is not known for his in-game adjustments. He's more of after watching film and then adjusting, which we've seen in game 3. Monty Williams is going to come out with a plan, and then he's going to also make in-game adjustments. And I think the pivotal game, Avery, is game 4 more than game 5, because game 4 is the game that's really going to set where the pressure going to land at. Because if the Bucks win, then the pressure is on the Suns to have to win at home. The Bucks lose, and now that game 5 gives the Suns 2 more games to really say that we just need one. It actually changes the series around. So I always look at game 4 over game 5.
That's a good point. Mark, let me ask you this question. You can ask question too. Yo, so my question is, if the Bucks win game 4, do y'all still lean more towards the Suns?
Yeah, because they only won at home.
Okay.
Protected home court.
Right. It's all about first person to win on the other person's home court, provided it doesn't get to a game 7, right? Because game 7 is at my crib, so I got the chips is where they gonna fall where they fall.
But you never want to go game 7. Never want to go game 7. Anything can happen in the game 7. Game 7, all bets are off, all thoughts are off, all ideologies go out the window. It's a game 7, win or die. And that's why when it goes back to that conversation about which is harder, a Super Bowl or a NBA championship, I'm always going to go to that one game, because you have more chances to win a series over versus the sudden death one game. So let me ask a question though, and I want to throw this out there. Does this series, does this finals, does it help CP3 more, or does it help Giannis more if they win the finals? Which one does it help more?
I think it helps both of them. But if I have to pick one, I'm going to go with Greek Freak, because I think even if the Suns lose, people are starting to appreciate Chris Paul, and they're going to be like, yo, he made it to the finals. You feel what I'm saying? Greek wins this finals, gets finals MVP. It definitely is going to help his more. He's younger. Chris Paul's career is basically cemented. You feel what I'm saying? This would just be like, yo, the icing on the cake for him. And even just making it really helps him a lot.
Okay. 100%. I've been saying during the playoffs, it's dope to watch CP3 finally get to that point. Like, a guy that's been in the league all this time, to finally get to this point and be able to have the opportunity, you know, in a place that we call the wasteland years ago, right? But it's also dope to watch the Greek Freak's growth. Like, you see Giannis' growth. Like, you see, again, not being afraid of humility. You know, telling cats, yo, give me the ball. Even in game 2, putting up 40 plus on the road, like, yo, like, I am not trying to lose. Like, I respect that. Not shying away from the moment. We talk about that all the time, like, just being in the moment and not being scared of the moment. So if Milwaukee wins, I think Greek Freak, like, we're gonna, you know, the pundits are gonna start talking about him being the best player in the league or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? So I think it helps the Freak a little bit more. I would like to see CP3 get the chip though. I ain't gonna lie.
I like what you just said.
I think it helps CP3 more, and here's why. CP3 is almost out the door. And everything that we have seen that has taken place about him, to me, I'm not going to call it hate, but it just seems like he's gotten the short end every time which you turn around. And whereas he didn't go and play with Kobe, what happened to him in Houston, what happened to him with the Clippers, to finally be able to get to this point, I think it shuts a lot of things down for him. And I think that this is why this culmination is happening, because he's gotten so far finally. And if you really think about it, a lot of us said, he's finally gotten to the finals. And that really, just like Lee said, raised it up a little bit more for him. To get over that line and now win a championship, I think it solidifies a lot of things for him more than Greek Freak, because I think that he's younger, he has more time, and there's still question marks about him, because if they lose, still right now, what are we talking about? Greek Freak. That's who we are talking about. He's gotten his props so far, getting this far after that injury as well.
Two-time MVP, right?
Right. But CP3 needs this to really help himself, help his legacy. Just think about it. A couple days ago, I forgot the player who said it, but said that he was the best, he's the greatest leader to ever play basketball. That's crazy when you think about where we were just a year ago talking about Chris Paul. That's really deep. That's how much the elevator has risen for him. So if you win a championship, think about where that elevator goes. So that's why I wanted to ask that question. I want to throw it out there because I think it's interesting to look at. And now my next question is this. If the Suns lose this series, does it hurt Chris Paul or Booker?
Nah, none.
No, yeah, I agree with it.
None.
It doesn't hurt either.
Nah. Well, hold on. I will say this. Hold on, Avery. I will say the Kobe and Booker thing is gonna have to get put. Like people gonna try to shoot that down real quick, because look, he had that 10-point game, and people was already saying like, yo, can we stop with these Kobe comparisons? Hold on.
The only that I know of, only a couple ignorant people did that, and that's because of again, prisoners of the moment with the ritual reaction.
I'm just talking about like stuff I see on social media, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And but people act like Kobe and have bad games in the finals, but that was definitely like they're gonna try to put a nail in that coffin ASAP. I don't think it hurts CP if they lose at all, unless he turns up a choke Paul situation, and then that would be the only thing.
Nah, and that's the scary thing about Game 7. So, because what the Game 7 does, Game 7 creates a narrative. Whoever loses, you become the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter the game, think about it. KD dropped 50 in a Game 7, they lost, and he was the GOAT. Like, let's really think about it. Think about it. So that's why I think it's important that, no, I'm not going to say, I think Devin Booker is extremely young. I do think this, though. Devin Booker's success after this finals, it might hinge on Chris Paul, because that's going to be the narrative. If they don't get back to the finals, or if they're not successful next year and Chris Paul's not there, you already know what's going to happen. Devin Booker can't carry a team. This was about CP. That's going to be the storyline. So I think, now that I'm talking about it, it may hurt Devin Booker more so. It may hurt, because that's going to be the thing. It's the same thing that happens with AD all the time. He can't leave nobody by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the conversation. Go ahead, Luke.
All right, so I feel your point about the Devin Booker, with people saying, he can't lead a team. But here's why I don't think that will happen, right? Because we could, people will look at it and they would say, if AD isn't hurt, does Phoenix even get out the first round?
They're not going there. Leaf, they're not going there. It's just the prisoners of the moment. See what you're doing is changing. No, you're changing the whole flow, because we just said it's always the prisoner of the moment. Prisoner of the moment is not going back to
round one,
to the first round. Nobody's doing that, Leaf. The bottom line is this. Bottom line is it's going to hurt one of them. We don't know which one exactly. Because
if I pick, I'll say Booker.
Because the pundits is going to choose a target, and once the pundits choose the target, that's what everybody's going to follow, and that's why
it's going to choose a part. I agree with you on that, and I think they're going to choose Booker, because at this point in CP's career, everyone just want to give him his roses.
But Booker and that Kobe comparison will bite him in the ass And that's why I think the target is going to be Booker. I think if they were to lose it, Booker is going to suffer the most out of it because of that. And that's going to be terrible because at the end of the day, who has the better roster overall?
I say the Suns.
The Suns came in as the favorites. The Suns came into this series as the favorites.
Yeah, Suns are definitely deeper. I still argue that I think that the Bucks starting five is better collectively than the Suns starting five. That's me. Collectively than the Suns starting five. I can't
agree with you. I can't agree with you there.
I think the Suns,
because PJ Tucker gives you nothing. It's really 5 against 4. So hold on. Think about that, Avery, for a moment. Okay, PJ Tucker averages less than 8 points a game.
Yeah, but I think his presence
as a
is
starter
not offensively though.
Here's why I disagree with you, Avery. Because like what Mark is saying, right? It's you only got 4 offensive players. Phoenix starting 5 all play defense, and it can all give you something.
They all can play defense. They all can. All right,
so fine. So fine.
No. I'm not gonna let you do that. They play defense. They play defense on a string.
It's 2 sides to the ball. Phoenix win duels. Any one of them guys can give you 15 any night. Like Mark just said, you're not getting 15 from PJ Tucker at all. Let's look at Bridges.
Okay.
Bridges can get hot, right? Crowder can get hot, right? And then you got the other 3 who are your stars or whatever, however you want to call it. We don't got that. On
the Bucks. Yo, listen. Let me say it to you, Avery. Giannis scoring 40 made up for what Tucker doesn't give you.
Yeah, Tucker is not there.
No, that's why I said roster-wise. When you look at the
toughness,
without a doubt, I got that. But when it comes down, when you're comparing rosters, because that's what Crowder is. Crowder is PJ Tucker with points.
With points. I agree.
So that's why I said when you look at the roster, the Suns got the better roster, kid.
Let me add on to Mark's point. Go
on.
If Greek doesn't score 40,
they lose.
Or 30-something, they lose. Chris Paul or Booker can have an off game and the Suns still win. We seen it in the Clippers series, and they blew the Clippers out in that game.
Wait a second, y'all. Again, this is what I'm trying to say. We ain't talking about the regular season, right? We ain't talking about the quarterfinals, the semi. This is the final. Every game takes a different shape. That's all I'm trying to say. Every game is going to be shaped differently.
No one is disagreeing with that part. No, listen, nobody's disagreeing with that part. But we asked a question about the roster. You said that you think the Bucks got a better starting
five. Starting 5 collectively playing together is slightly better than the starting 5 of the Suns. That's my opinion. That's just me. That's
your opinion.
Okay, listen.
Listen,
right. You know what? Okay, listen. Everybody, we will be right back. During this break, we will drug test Avery, and then we will come back.
I won't be here. Give me the film.
Be right back.